Okay, to follow along with my comparison of maps versus objects, I want to talk about the actual methods and properties available to map objects. So I have here in the comments at the top, here's a list of the primary methods that you're going to be using, and there's one property called size, which will tell you the number of elements that are inside your map. Remembering that maps are key value pairs, it's like a list of key value pairs. The difference between the map and the object is that the keys in a map can be any data type at all. In an object, the keys will be converted to strings. So let's take a look at some of these methods quickly. I'm going to take my new map that I created called Star Wars, and I will set, that's my key, and then my value will be Mark Hamill. Do another one just so we have a couple of things inside of here. Okay, so I have a couple of things. If I run this code now, there we are. I'm doing a for each loop. So first two methods. Set allows you to create entries inside of your map. So the first item here is the key, the second is the value. Same thing here, key, value. Just like an array, a map has a for each method. This for each method accepts a function that you want to run. You can write the function inline like this, or you can actually have a named function and just put the name of the function. It will call the function once for each element inside of the map. And the parameters which are passed to the function will be first the value, second the key, and third, if you want it, is the actual map itself, so the entire map object if you want a reference to that. I'm using my template strings to write out key equals value, so that's why I'm getting Luke equals Mark Hamill, Han equals Harrison Ford. There is a get method, where you pass in the key. This will pass back to us the value from this. So if I wanted to write that out, console log h, there we are, Harrison Ford. Get Han, Han is the key, Harrison Ford is the value. The value is what gets returned from the get method and placed inside of the variable h, and that's what we're writing out here. That's the first thing we're writing out, and then we're looping through everything inside of there. Now, two methods which on the surface sound very similar, clear and delete. The difference between the two of them is clear empties out the entire map, all the key values gone. Delete, you get to target one key and remove one thing. So we can say I want to take my Star Wars map object and I'm going to call delete, and I'm going to delete Han. When I run this again, there, this is inside my for each. All I'm getting is Luke. The one Han has been deleted. That's been removed. If we were to, for example, want to clear out the whole thing, we just call clear. We don't have to pass any parameters to it because we're just saying empty the entire thing. So I get my Harrison Ford value, which was my line 11 console statement, and then on line 13 I'm clearing out every key value pair from the map, so the for each does nothing, displays nothing. Now I'm going to comment that out just so I don't delete it, so I will see something coming up in my for each function. Has. This is a test as to whether or not something exists inside the array. I'll come down below here. And we could say Star Wars.has something with the key Luke. This is going to return a true or false. We can put that into a variable, or we could do it inside of an if statement. And there it is. We get the yes coming up. This did return true. if we change that to Leia, there we go. So the has method for the key Leia returned false. There was no key that I created called Leia, so I'm getting the else block of code running. Now there are 3 other methods, but I'm not going to be covering them in this video because they all have to do with iterators. So I'm going to do a video about iterators before I come back and talk about them. The methods are entries and keys and values, which are just ways similar to the for each of iterating through, but we get to choose when and where in our code we move to the next element inside of the map. There is a next method that allows us to step forward. So after I deal with the iterator video, then I will come back and I'll talk about these 3 methods for the maps. One last thing, the size property. It is just a property, it's not a method, it is a property, so you don't need to put the parentheses at the end. Star Wars.size. This will tell me the number of elements inside of the array. I created 2, Luke and Han. There they are, 2. Alright, any questions, please leave them in the comments, and as always, thanks for watching.